Alrighty, welcome to day 6. Hoo-ha! We are at the sharp, slick end of the competition, the 4th Underwater Hockey World Age Group Championships. We have Maddie Payne on the camera, doing a terrific job up there. The view that you can see now is the view that he's bringing to you. We've got the Great Britain Under-19 men's team, Canada Under-19 men's team. Glad they're both under-19 men's team, otherwise there'd be a problem. So live chat, if you're streaming, if you're watching this game through YouTube, get on the live chat please, offer your comments, your shout outs, and I'll have a chat with you and bring you into the game. Terrific. Great Britain, let me just get my head around the colours that we've got going here. Romy, we have Great Britain in white and Canada black, so Canada going left to right. Now in the comms box here I've got Romy switching between the 6 different cameras and bringing the vision to the stream that you see. But out on the pool deck and in the water we've got a fixed camera pointing straight down. We've got Maddie Payne on the movable camera, which you can see the vision he's providing now. In the water, you've got two cameras in the middle and 1 camera in either corner. So we just had a disallowed goal. I'll get back to the cameras in a little minute, just bring you up to speed with what the refs are doing. So pushing back Great Britain. The under-19 boys been pushed back, and Canada in black will be taking the puck, trying to clear it over to the subside. And using the wall like as a friend, trying to bring it out there. So Great Britain bringing it across to the middle of the pool, far easier to attack in the middle of the pool, and a fantastic drive. Well defended, Canada. So Canada again pushing it out. Great Britain, we've got a penalty goal. So chopping the vegetables there, the ref, stick infringement. Right in the D, so that'll be a 2-on-1. So you notice all the players have to be out of the players that aren't taking the 2-on-1 have to be right out of the court, and they're sending in their little specialist here to defend. Number 12. Number 12 for Canada is Edwin Zhang. So you go, Edwin, because you've got your work cut out for you. So the ref here just explaining a couple of things. We've got 10, and is that 11 there, Romy? Can you see? Tom Pitchforth and Nathan Archer. Tom's the captain. Okay, I think there was a Pitchforth in the girls' game that I just called. She's the coach. Well, there you go. There's lots of family connections, and as you would expect, the 2-on-1 has gone in. We want to give the advantage to the team that's taking the flick. So well done, lads. Pitchforth in the girls' game that I just called. Yeah, so back to the cameras, this great streaming that you can see. The coach. Well, we can thank quite a few people here. Family connections. And as you would Underwater Vision, they've provided these cameras which have never been used before. This style of camera has never been used before at a World Championships or a major competition. Usually use the GoPros. And they'll be watching this just as interestingly as we are, because they want these to work, and if they do work, which they are, they can then use them at different underwater hockey or underwater rugby or swimming events. I'm going to ask Romy to bring up the overlay of the GoFundMe link. So if you are watching, pop your hand in your pocket and dump some cash. Dump some moolah onto gofundme.com/Hobart 2017. We need $10,000 to cover all the big screens, the underwater cameras, the monitors here in the comms room. At the moment, we're up to about $3,500. We've had 55,000 people viewing YouTube. If everyone just put in $1, we'd well and truly cover that. And these cameras aren't just owned by Tassie or the pool that you can see here or the competition. They're actually owned by Australian Underwater Hockey, and they can be used at any major comp in the future. So hopefully we'll see them in Canada in the 3-metre court, the Elite Worlds, and then again in the Age Championships in Sheffield in 2.6 metres. It's all good stuff. Okay, we've had 3 minutes down so far in this first half, and the refs are really trying to maintain a really strong control of the game. Again, pushing back, the black pushing back Canada, and Great Britain have another crack at clearing it out of the corner and up the wall. Thanks again, Maddie, for that vision. It's nice. That I like to see the above the water vision. You can see how all the teams are setting up. But once the play started, we popped back under the water. So nice work. Did you want to? Okay. All right, joining me in the chair, I've got Tristan from New Zealand, who wants to have a little bit of a chat. So getting himself settled, putting the jubes, the jelly babies out of the way. No, actually now taking the jelly babies back. They passed me a jelly baby. Thanks, Tristan. Excellent. So, Tristan, how are you feeling? What's going down in your world?
Well, it's great watching all the games, and especially watching GB here fighting it out with Canada. So Canada's actually doing quite well. So I'm quite impressed, actually. Canada's obviously had a tough tournament.
Yeah, they have they're finished. They're seventh on the ladder. Though, look, funnily enough, we've got Great Britain is sixth. So 6th and 7th. I think this is the second game these guys have played today. So that seeding will have changed just a little, and Tristan's just bringing that up on his phone, I think. So this is the last game for them for the day before the finals seedings. Tristan, are you aware of how they're playing off the 7 teams in the finals for the under 19? Oops. I'm looking at the women's. Here we go. Hang on. Turn the page. Oh, sorry. Great Britain first. Slap on the wrist to Nat Wickham. There you go. I'll take that one. So Great Britain have finished first in the under 19, as of this morning, and Canada were sitting in 9th. Okay. Have you got an update of the seedings at all there, Tristan, or not?
The seedings, obviously, I've been sitting down as my tournament director role, just double checking a few of them, because it looks like we've got a 3-way tie in one of the women's grades. So we're just starting to really get into depth. But in terms of the under 19 men's, there's 9 teams in the group. Obviously, there's an 8th and 9th playoff first thing tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Winner goes in as the 8th seed to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, right. And look, I have to apologise again. Anyone watching, I'm calling all the different divisions, all the different games, all the different teams, and you'll have to forgive me if I got that one wrong. So Great Britain, whoa, up the top. Canada, battling at the bottom.
Yeah. So obviously, looking at the seedings, Australia had a slow start to the tournament, obviously playing a lot of those top seeds in terms of Great Britain, France, New Zealand. And they had a couple of sickness with a couple of the lads. They've actually come up to the seedings, so I think they're look like we're just seeing how these last matches go, but I think they'll end up at 5th seed. So that's a good comeback once those boys got back in the water. And then Argentina drops down because they had their extra match already.
Okay. And in the other court, we've got New Zealand playing Colombia for the under-19 men as well. And New Zealand are 2-0 up on Colombia, which they're sitting shoulder to shoulder in the seedings table.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons I haven't quite finished this grade, because I needed that match to finish. So obviously the way that's going, it'll mean that those top 4 will stay where they are. If France win, then France with, at the moment, probably depending on how many goals they concede.
Yeah, and we've got France coming up against South Africa in the next game, and that's going to be a real humdinger of a game. I hope we get lots of people watching, streaming that. Well, tell me a little about this 3-way tie. So when you've got a 3-way tie or even a 2-way tie in the seedings, what do we look for to then separate the geese from the chickens?
So first of all, when it's 2-way, it's head-to-head result. So as soon as there's a draw, then we go to the most number of wins. If we still can't split the teams, then least number of losses so the team with the least number of losses is ranked higher. Then we get to the number of goals that they concede. So it's not how many you win, it's about how many you concede. So in New Zealand, I know that we use a goal ratio now. So that's why you'll find a New Zealand team, they generally will just carry on because they'll think it's goal ratios. So they will still defend like mad, but they'll also go and pound the tray.
Yeah, so and don't you love that change that we've been seeing come through, that it's goals against, Tristan, because no one likes to see a team get slaughtered just so a team can get their goals for. Statistics up a bit. So goals against is a far more healthy way, or goals conceded is a far more healthier way for the competition to run it.
Yep.
Tristan, I know when we've kind of decided here in the comms box that if a team gets 14 goals up, Whitney Houston graces the airways, because no one likes to call a game when the score runs out over 14 goals. And in a sec, when we pull up the live chat again, we've got quite a bit of active chat happening, and we might respond to some of those chats. Here we go. And we've got Lythe Esther, Nathan Archer, parents Belinda and Eric, proud of GB lads, be bold and get gold. I'm using that. Thank you very much, Nathan. Dave Colley, go GB, well done, Zach. Can you see any other ones there for us, Tristan?
Well, we've got some French there, so I'm assuming the French Canadians are coming through. Les Canadiens, and what have we got? Bond Defence. So it's great to see actually the bilingualness of Canada. So I know with the referees it's quite useful. I quite often, when we're doing the room assignments, we put the Canadians in with some French boys so that we can communicate easier.
Yeah. And it's the same in the communication box. We have Alfredo from Argentina, and he's fluent, very fluent in, of course, in Spanish, but not in English. And I've sat beside him a few times, which is interesting because my Spanish is zip. And then we've had Hein with Afrikaans. And of course, Tristan, you speaking New Zealanderish. And then we've got some French going on. And I think that just makes this sport so, it just opens up that global aspect. So really big drive there, Tristan. Can you see what's going on?
Look, it's
so Great Britain.
Great Britain are just obviously packing the puck right into the tray there on the Canadians. Looks
10.
like number 10 there for the
Tom
GB.
Pitchforth. What we're going to do, I'm just going to read through the Great Britain under-19 team while there's a little break here. We've got George Lythe, number 2, Oliver Charnock Crawford, love a hyphenated name, thanks Oliver, number 3, Harry Thompson, number 4, Christopher Gilson, 5, Lyndon Beddoe, Matthew Adams, 6 and 7 respectively, Oliver Curl, Elliot Atkins, 8 and 9, Tom Pitchforth, goal scorer for Great Britain, number 10, Nathan Archer, 11, 12, Caleb Pullum, and 13, Zach Tate. And the coach is Richard Adams. And with this timeout being called, would you like to go through the Canadian men there, Tristan?
So Canadian men, we've got Brandon Ellis, Michael Tingley is number 3, Nathaniel Schruckenberger number 5, Spencer Miller number 6, Duncan Pearce number 7, Luke Kruger. That's a name I'm familiar with. I think maybe he might be the younger sibling to Caleb Kruger. Number 10, Darko Jostic. Number 12, Edwin Zhang. And number 13, Thorda Kozak.
Yeah, thanks for your, Henry. Thanks for Henry. Oh, Henry, I can't quite see it. Thanks very much for your comment there about muting the sound on the replay. Isn't it great to have replays? That's something that's been missing in underwater hockey for such a long time, and it's a bit tricky for us here. We're still ironing out a few little, lumpy bits and hiccups there, but with the replay, I love it. It's great, and it's really good for people watching the streaming.
Yeah, and it's good to see Henry from New Zealand, and I think he's relocated to GB, but hopefully he's still supporting the Kiwis, mate.
Yeah, nice work. So let's talk a bit about this game. We've got a big drive from Great Britain down the wall and a lot of stick candy happening there, Tristan. These guys drill and train really hard to make sure their skills are sharp.
No, it's great to see some of the curls, especially a reverse curl. I saw a couple of the Kiwi boys in against France, and then watched even a French boy do a barrel roll at one stage.
No, we call that a crocodile roll.
Crocodile.
It's like the death roll the crocodiles, employ to bring something down. So I'm liking crocodile roll.
Yeah, no, it's quite impressive when you see one of the boys pull off those type of moves. They put a lot of time into it, and they hardly ever use them at all. So.
Yeah, so we've got Canada in the advantage here. Number 10 for oops, here we go, put that away. Number 10 for Canada, Darko Gojic, sitting forward of the puck. It's always interesting to see the way that they set up for freeze. Actually, I just called the game for, the under-19 girls, and Zoe from Great Britain wouldn't let on how they took their freeze, and I'm like, well, because this streaming is so clear, this camera work is so clear, I could see exactly their strategy. And it was a good one. They had one of their forwards actually take the puck and swim it instead of a back taking it and flicking it. What are your preferred ways of taking the free puck, Tristan?
Look, in terms of the New Zealand side, and Canada is probably fairly similar as well. I understand they've switched to a 2-3-1 pattern, so Quite often it depends defensive zone. Quite often might be a forward taking it through, normally going lateral. So trying to line everybody up and then trying to hit the side of the formations.
Yeah, look, just
Another goal by
back
GB.
to the game. That was a really a really strong flick from Great Britain, and the Canadian actually knocked it down straight onto the lip of the tray, and bam, capitalisation, and Caleb Pullen slid that one in. So well done, Caleb. What else is going on the pool deck, Tristan? Because you're all above all over everything that's going on here. What's your exact role at this tournament?
So I sit as the tournament director. So under the rule book, if a protest occurs, they have to fine me within 15 minutes of the close of a match, and then we have a discussion at that point. And if they still feel aggrieved, then they can lodge a formal protest. So they write it up. They've got about an hour to do that. And also I've got to front up with a bit of cash, so it's just to make sure that the cash component's really just to make them think about it. Really,
if their grievance is actually you pay it and you reverse the decision or whatever, is that cash refunded?
Yeah,
okay.
Generally it'll be refunded, but most of the time most people are aware that protests are very unlikely to resolve in a reversal of whatever decision.
Yeah,
so it quite often becomes the referee's beer money, so they quite like it.
And Tristan, the refereeing standard here has just been spectacular. It's delicious. 3 refs in the water at each game, and they have meetings every second night. They have a meeting with all refs, and then they have the assessors meeting. Have you been to any of those meetings, Tristan?
Yeah, and obviously I sit down as more of a helicopter view. So if you heard, I think if you watched the Glory Moments this morning, you heard Pete say there was a directive. So I provide that directive that quite often I want them to let the game flow. I want to make sure we're using the advantage rule and making sure that guys are being fair. So one of the discussions we had is about premeditation or predetermination of how you're going to ref. And they say, oh, one team's fouling a lot. But actually, are you watching the whole of the play to see that there's actually some retaliation fouls going on?
Yeah, nice. That's a really good insight, because reffing isn't easy. I'm just picking up on something you said, Tristan, and it's so good that the refs are really trying to play advantage. And when it goes to the camera on the surface, quite often you'll see the ref cycling around their hand, which means either making a phone call or calling advantage, and it just keeps the flow of the game going. And I've actually noticed, Tristan, I don't know if this is across the board, but we seem to be having less kickouts.
Yeah, I had also one of the things, trying to provide a little bit of influence. So I sat down with a couple of the teams who had a little bit higher bin time.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
And had a few discussions with them, and one of the things they said, well, what do you do? So I remember in my past life as an elite player, we got bin dollars per minute if you sit in the sin bin. So, I understand that suddenly that coach took that on board.
Well, I'd be surprised if there are many teams that aren't doing the old fine system. Yeah. Tristan, is this half time already?
Half time.
Yep, absolutely. Well, good stuff. The score is open the door 4 for Great Britain, and still the goose egg for Canada. Unfortunately, Canada have had the goose egg quite a bit, and surprisingly, it was one of the Canadian boys that told me about the goose egg, and that wasn't a mocker on them.
It's pretty tough for them. Look, they've scored 2 goals, I think, up until today.
Yeah, so are they represented? I know they're represented 8 per team in the women's competition. Are they in both the under-19s and under-23s?
Yeah, they brought all 4 teams.
Yeah,
so,
and of course they would, having the elite World Championships in Quebec in the 3-metre pool next year. Yeah,
no, that's looking good. Having some discussions with Hugo, who's one of the referees here this week, and he's on the organising committee for Canada. And obviously talking via email with their tournament convener, Marie-Renée Blanchard. So,
very nice. Well
so, they're both fluent French speakers, as opposed to, just a silly Kiwi who has to speak in English the whole time.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? We're not as bilingual as our northern neighbours. Now the boys all lined up, and as you can see, are pretty boring. I'm cross with these boys. A pretty boring gear basket there. It looks like something that's been nicked from the back of a Woolies or a Coles, a supermarket, while they've been here. We know a little bit of history about the Great Brits there, Eric the Elephant. I'm really digging deep for this and following his life. And good on Great Britain. You get the gold medal from me for your best gear carrier. Have you heard about Eric?
I've heard about Eric, but I'm noticing here that obviously the GB boys have disrespected the effort put in by the girls. So I don't know what their coach Richard Adams just floating around in his lovely green
if we can get a
capster.
zoom in a little bit there too, Maddie Payne at their gear basket. They've even been pretty unimaginative at the way they've attached their noodles there. You know, midway. You should be high and proud with those noodles. Have them at the top, and maybe stick a rubber ducky or something you can stroke and pat before you go out in the game. Some kind of mascot. So come on, boys, you got to lift your game.
Yeah, and there's no tassels. There's no.
No bells and whistles. Yeah, so let me tell you about Eric the Elephant. You'll see Eric the Elephant for the girls' games. Eric started out as Jeremy at the last age group championships, and he's changed to Eric. And unfortunately, Eric was pretty stiff and plump at the start of the tournament, but I think the coach or might have actually jammed him in the bus door.
Oh, look, I saw one game he was looking rather deflated. So that
I hope they pump him up a little.
You might have punctured him.
Yeah, I think so. We'd like him, his spirit at least, to live on. And we've got Sharky McSharkface, I think, wasn't it, Romy? Who's he attached to? Was that the South Africans? Yeah, okay, and that fits with South Africa. I went shark diving in South Africa, which was pretty cool. That was nice. Big white pointers. Okay, so white being pushed back. We've got Great Britain being pushed back in front of their sub-bench. And let's have a look at how Canada sets up for their free. Always interesting.
So GB looking there like a 3-3 type formation. In Canada, I think looking at that, it looks fairly New Zealandish. 2-3-1 type.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And I'm glad you said that too, because the 2-3-1 formation really does give strength when you're working it down a corridor, doesn't it, Tristan?
Yeah, it's corridor. It's also trying to go lateral. You're kind of trying to spread the players around. So it kind of works that way. And then there's a couple of other options that to kind of do the overlap and swinging it right.
Yeah, you guys are so well drilled. I had the pleasure of donning. Oh, here we go. We'll just
Lovely
talk this runaway. Whoa, nice work, Great Britain. Big swim. He was flanked by at least one of his players, and the Canadians couldn't quite swim him down. Nice smooth tiles, nice and fast. Number 3, you should be high-fiving your mates because that Oliver Charnock. Here we go. We'll just talk this runaway. That was a terrific effort. Oh, nice work.
Yeah, nice
Great
rolling
Britain.
dolphin
Big
kick
swim.
there, really
he was
strong
flanked
and powerful.
by at least one of his
all the way
players.
to the try, a good 20-metre run. So I expect he's straight in the subs bench there to have a bit of a rest after that run.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if oh, yeah, okay. I thought actually Canada may have called a timeout, but I don't think we're going to see that many timeouts in this game. Just back to your 2-3-1, Tristan. I had the pleasure of playing with the Amazons at the last Hobart Championships last year for the New Zealand Trans-Tasman, and I was instructed on how to play the 2-3-1, and coming from a 3-3 for, I don't know, 30 years, I found it a real challenge, and we weren't allowed to flick on 45s. It had to be either 90 degrees or straight ahead. Oh, gee, it was a challenge, but I could really see the merit in that, and I loved it. Really loved it.
Yeah, once you get that understanding, what you tend to find, I think, if you see New Zealand on a rush, it's pretty hard to stop, and it's pretty direct. So,
yeah, it is.
And that's why I think most people are starting to recognise GB pushes in another goal there by the looks of it. The refs are
nice and clean. 10.
Number 10 again.
Yeah, Tom pitched fourth. This would be his third goal, I think, or fourth. And a nice little call out from Nathan Archer. Great swim, Ollie. It was a great swim. Thank you, Damien McNutty. Ooh, I like that, McNutty. I hope you're not anaphylaxis for nuts there, Damien, because that would be quite funny. All right. Nice.
Yeah, so when we're playing the 2-3-1, we have the straight ahead passes. The rush is pretty quick, and I think you start to see a lot of the Kiwi teams. You start to pick up that most people recognise they're pretty fast teams. So,
yeah, exactly.
We do a lot of work in the fitness side of the speed, and And it's also in the nature of the way New Zealand plays at home, really, across the schools program.
Yeah, and we know we've got a lot of swimmers that play underwater hockey that seem to transition from that individual sport to the team sport, but it's definitely not a prerequisite. I don't really, I mean, I've always been a strong swimmer, but I don't come from a swimming background, and it's never held me back at all, Tristan.
No.
So if you're out there watching or you want to, join in, make a start in the age championships, actually start underwater hockey, just because you're not a swimmer, it doesn't mean that you can't find success and get to this level.
Yeah, absolutely. Get in the gym, sort out those muscles, and you can improve 10-20% quite easily.
Yeah, that's right. So time for us to do some shameless kind of plugging of our sponsors. Vertex, you can see in the bottom right-hand side of your screen, providing the spunky purple volunteer tops and the groovy delicious referee uniforms. Hey, look at that. Nice big swim. He's ahead. Left-hander, I think, is it? Big swim all the way. Bam, 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 bam. In the trough tray, tin, goal, and net and hole.
Oh, referees awarded it. It's great stuff. Canada
was
get
it 9 or was it 10? Maddie's zooming in on 9. So, Maddie, you must know stuff. And I trust your judgment there. So, we have 9, Luke Kruger.
Yeah,
hey, look at that. Nice big swim. He's ahead.
Nice
Left-hander, I think,
Romy.
is it?
Well done.
Big
Yeah,
swim
looks
all the
like
way.
there's a little bit
Bam,
of
bam,
hacking
bam,
there. You
bam,
can just see that
bam.
white
In the
stick.
trough.
Always about a foot behind them.
Oh, just missed it again. Hey, so 6-1. Yeah, Tristan's just ducking out of the box for a minute. He's got the official duties. We've got a timeout called. Romy, did you see who called the time? Hello, Dave Lambert. In the hot seat. Do you like a warm seat, David?
It is pretty hot, Matt.
Yeah, well, Tristan's a pretty hot kind of guy.
We got 9 minutes left to go. He is hot, isn't he? He's been swagging around the pool deck, hot, swigging his New Zealand swagger on him.
Yep, okay, so keep that seat warm. I think Tristan's going to come back and fight you for it, but anyway.
I'll give it to him.
Yeah, Canada just got a fantastic swim away, pretty much the length of the pool, and we're pretty pumped for Luke Kruger. I think it was Luke Kruger.
Go Canada.
Yeah, nice. So how's your day going so far, David?
I had a good morning here doing some commentarying, but I had to go back and sign a few papers and do that sort of things, and people just wanted a piece of me back there.
Back at work. Yeah, I'm lucky I'm on school holidays, and what better way to spend my holidays than over here at my local pool helping out with the age championships. He's back. See you, David. Let's just swap that chair. Doesn't anyone want to stay and work with me? I don't know. Yeah. Now, David, actually, before you go, you just got to try and talk Matty Payne into coming and joining us with a bit of verbal candy on the microphone, because I reckon he'd be a natural. Oh, flagrants. Well done, David. That's the first time. David... Now, David, though, Stu and I were talking about the old eating, what you eat before a game, and sometimes it repeats through your snorkel. And I came up with a bit of a jam, I'm afraid, the old mouth chimney. That's your snorkel. Yeah, a bit of gas up your mouth chimney. Look, I think I've started something. I have started something. It's never going to be a snorkel for me again.
So Canadians here driving down the wall.
Yeah, they've got a taste for it. They've got a little sniff of blood in the water, and they're just going for it like little piranhas.
Yeah, no, we just signed off on the under-23 women's seating. So
bring it on.
We had 3 coaches hanging around, not knowing where they sat.
This is hot stuff.
This is hot stuff. So top of the table, unfortunately, is New Zealand. So I'm quite happy about that. South Africa was second, and so none of that's really a change. Colombia in third. However, pleased to advise that Great Britain became the 4th seed.
Woohoo!
Because Australia had conceded the most goals, so they ended up in 6th. And then GB beat France on the head-to-head. They ended up 4th, but they're all on the same 9 points.
Wow. So it really did count the goals against, didn't it, Tristan?
Absolutely.
You hearing that, Romy?
So Australia had conceded 20 goals. France conceded 15 and Great Britain had conceded 13.
No, great. Another goal to the boys. They didn't show with their fingers who got it from Great Britain,
number 11 by the looks of it.
You reckon? So Nathan Archer be feeling pretty pumped. Little shake of the head there, Nathan. So yeah, have you got any other stats for us, Tristan? Because this is good having you in the box. You know stuff.
Oh, I kind of know a little bit. And then Argentina ended up 7th seed, and Canada unfortunately an 8th seed. So
Okay.
they're a straight quarterfinal. So New Zealand will play Canada, and then South Africa playing Argentina, Colombia playing Australia, and then Brexit all over again. Great Britain versus France.
Yeah, nice work. Well done. That was a good little pop in there of some current affairs. I like that.
Yeah, no, I had Yuri come in from the USA, so he wasn't a Trump supporter, so we had that discussion. So it's good to see him.
I've been biting my tongue, don't you worry. I've had a few of the boys and girls in the commentary box, and I've been dying to ask them their opinions. But hey, look, seriously, I don't care.
No,
not about their opinions, but about the person we're talking about.
We're quite lucky that we're not having. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't seem to affect us down under, but at least we're far enough away. We don't have to deal with this daily rubbish.
Interesting times, that's for sure. Have you been up to the merchandise desks at all, Tristan?
Oh, I have. I bought a couple of beanies, or 3 beanies for my children. So I've been told I had to come home with presents.
Easy peasy.
So I've done that for the tournament, but I obviously have to do something different and stop my kids growing, because they seem to be new clothes every second month. But they're doing pretty well. But obviously there's a lot of equipment up there. Nijaj fins are there, and it's good to catch up with Nelly and the guys. Obviously been in the last 2 or 3 competitions, so they've been really supportive of the sport.
They have a massive big box of fins for us to use for giveaways and prizes. And 6AA Armour reffing as well, and holding his stall with bats and gloves. So if you're out there in Hobart and you want to come down to the pool and pick up some A-class gloves and sticks, get on down here and Shark Underwater Hockey Equipment with Sergio as well, also reffing, running his stall and offering some special discounts, both of those stalls, and some really quality gear. Saves you going online and ordering it and waiting a week to get it. You can get it right here. And then if you look in the top left-hand side of your screen, thanks, Maddie, we've got the stalls up there. We've got the entrance to the pool for us on the right-hand side. So it's a quick skippity-hop in the pool, and you can grab that gear. So here we go. 4.5 or so minutes to go.
Yeah, strong drive here from GB, straight down the middle. Canadians just sweeping it wide, so I think Jesse Hocking's time in Canada is really influencing the way the Canadians are playing.
Yeah, so many of the players, these tournaments are great because you make these connections, and then I know a lot of the under-23s especially will be off travelling after this competition, and you've got made these contacts. You can go anywhere, Turkey, you can go to New Zealand, France, South Africa, and you've always got somewhere to stay. You can grab a game of underwater hockey, and you've made these great friendships.
Yeah, that's one of the things the sport's great for, and I always get lots of invites, and especially just before comps, we were talking about equipment suppliers, and I'm really pleased when I went up there to see lots of blue and green gloves, because just prior to this comp, there was about 15 emails floating around querying whether I could use a gold glove or a pink glove. Look, if you guys are buying gloves, just stick with blue and green. You can use either stick, and there's no issues.
Yeah, nice. That's really wise words. And we've got Edwin Zhang sitting on the bench in the naughty chair. He'll be fined by his team. He'll be sucking it in now and thinking, "What did I do? Why did I do it?" Because you don't want to be there. That's the last place you want to be.
Yeah, look, I hope the Canadian boys really take the torch to him.
Hey, take the torch. I like it. Some teams celebrate those kind of stuff-ups, and you have to, wear the dummy or wear the funny hat. And some teams are a bit more soft and fuzzy, warm fuzzy, like the Canadians, and, they actually look for the positives, which is kind of hard for me to grasp, because in Aussie, as you know, might be the same in New Zealand, we like to take the mickey. We like to, when someone's down, we like to say, "Well, suck it up, sister."
That's right, and when you watch GB, they're such stick and fringes. They're amazing, the amount of fouls they do on that side of things. So
Tristan, they're fighting words. Hey, come on, Damien. McNutty again. Go easy on the boys. But, going back to what I was saying, with the Aussies, the more we actually stir someone up, it means the more we love them. So, don't take it personally. Okay, nice big cross in the pool there, Tristan. This is good. And Great
Yeah.
Britain, nice tight curl, looking for support.
Nice
Woohoo,
control too.
very nice
swerve,
control.
Nice swerve there.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes to go. I think shut the gate, number 8 for Great Britain. And pork bun 1 for Canada. So I'm glad they cracked the egg. The goose egg's been cracked. We've got 1 goal on the board for Canada, and I think they'll be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, glove pucking call against GB there.
Yeah, I think Canada will want now. You've got to set yourselves these little goals in games where it's a little bit of a runaway, and I'm sure Canada will be saying, guys, they're calling a timeout. We are not going to concede another goal, and if they set their minds to it, because we know that a big proportion of this game is mind control and. Look, I love this chat. I think someone's having a go at you. He's got his glasses on. I can tell you now. They're probably a bit dirty, actually. Tristan, you've got a few thumbprints there.
Oh, look at the respect from Mr. Stilwell from Great Britain there.
What's Natty Scratty? Yeah, I like that.
So, just noticed Damien's comment there, Monster. So, thought we'd just spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, bring it on.
One of the things here is when you're going on board to see all the results and the laters and the statistics, the one good option that I've been having a look at is actually the players. And you click on the statistics, you can see the number of goals they scored, but also you can see the Simba minutes per player.
Oh, is that on the tiny URL kind of link on that sports, what's it called, the platform that we use? It's used for heaps of sports, field hockey and everything.
But you can link to it from the tournament website.
Okay, so the CMAS force.
When we were having a serious look at the Simban times for 2 or 3 teams, so Argentina's another one on the top of the list, Turkey, and there was one other.
Yeah.
We went and actually had a look, and when you actually decently break it down, we found, in most cases, it's a couple of players.
Yeah, nice. Oh, I'm going to be on there. I love those kind of stats, Tristan.
So that's one of the things to really look at, is if they can go online, because then we can look at
name and shame. That's actually name and shame.
That's right.
There's no hiding.
There's no hiding nowadays. So the stats are there, and then coaches can deal with the situation and try to understand it. Whether it's the fact that I know in New Zealand we want all our players to be level 1 referees, not because they have to referee, but that they know the rules, and also when they're doing the skills development, they push the rules right to the limit.
Yeah,
so
good stuff.
That's where that's the way we look at it.
Hasn't technology just opened up our game, Tristan, over the last, I think, how am I now, 48, so 30 years I've been playing, or just shy of, and things are a little bit different. We used to get the games on disc, and go back and watch them in a DVD player. Look, what's happening here? We've got a bit of polishing the unicorn, the unsportsmanlike behaviour.
Yeah.
Equal puck called. We don't like the unsportsmanlike behaviour, and I love the way the refs are really onto it. I think that's a real. This has been a common thread through the tournament. They will not tolerate anything that looks a little bit dodgy, argy-bargy, or unfair.
Yeah, no, it's great with Alex there. A minute to go in the match. Canadians just sweeping, keeping possession, and.
Before this game wraps up, Tristan, you know these refs pretty well. Have you got any dirt on any?
Oh no, we've got to keep it professional. No, the guys have been working really well. I kind of said to them, in terms of the way we've been evolving the system and looking after the refs, assessing them, we've really improved, I think.
Yeah, without a doubt. They're all squeaky clean. I was just going for the
I wouldn't
dig
say
there,
as players they're squeaky clean at all. I think.
No, I think you're right. You've hit the nail on the head. I think the refs actually.
There's a Tasmanian ref I know about. He's
they know how to work it, don't they?
As a player, he used to sit in the bin quite often, but as a ref, he's a master. So
yeah.
We learn. Obviously, GB just hitting 10-1 against Canada.
Oh, look, Canada will be pretty upset about that. I'm sure they were trying to keep GB to single figures. So, My Fat Hen, 10 for Great Britain. And I think we're all over Red Rover. It's time for the big sing. And Tristan, thanks very much for coming into the talkie chair.
No worries. I'll just fill in where I'm told. So that's.
Yeah. Did you want to go on pool deck and have an interview with the boys? Yeah. Hey, I saw you nodding.
No,
excellent.
No.
Yeah, come on. You're doing it. Off you go. Out on the pool deck. Stay. I know you've got a few fans back there in the streaming land. So if you're watching the stream, check out Tristan's action pool deck with Dave Lambert. Nice work, fellas.
Yeah, Monster. That's all cool.
Is
yeah.
That's not true, is it?
No, that's not true. But it's one of the discussions that is ongoing at the moment. So just to bring in all the watches up while we're waiting for the teams just to do their cheer before they hit the pool deck. You can see in the chat room there, Andrew's talking about Simbin players and whether you could take them to the jury and actually suspend them from the next match. So discussions are ongoing, and look, where it comes down to is if the guys put together a rules change.
I'll get that one. Yeah, keep on going.
Then it's something to consider. So in this case, I know there was a GB captain actually lost her cool in one of the matches. We had a quiet chat with her and said, look, it's unacceptable. She grabbed a hold of the player's fin during the match. It was sided. It was after the game basically was finishing.
Oh, gee whiz.
And she didn't want to stand, she just wanted to get out of the pool. So she'd lost it.
Yeah, okay.
And I think the team lost the match as well, 1-0 or something like that. So,
right.
But that's age group hockey, they just lost their cool and had to be a nice loser and couldn't actually handle it. So we just took them aside as the tournament ref, tournament director, and said, look, if you do it again, we'll take you to the jury.
Yeah, good.
And then it's up to the 5 referees on there to decide what action will be taken.
Yep. Okay, well, Tristan, look, a wealth of information. I loved having you in the chair next to me while he just tritter-trots out. Quickly, Nathan Archer, confession of a parent. Oh, you're bold. Nathan Archer, or Natty, we lost Winifred. But we found her again. She's a green iguana. Love it. That's gold. Okay, Nat Wickham saying bye for the day. I think almost. See you later.
Yeah, I'm poolside now just after the GB versus Canada match, and obviously tough match for Canada. How do you think you went?
I thought it was okay. GB is a good team. I thought we just couldn't generate enough power, I guess, to just get past them, I guess.
So in terms of playing the formation, what formation does Canada play?
I played 2-1-2-1.
Oh, 2-1-2-1. Okay, so slightly different. I saw it looked very New Zealand-esque in terms of the sweeping thing. So tough match. Who got the runaway goal?
That was Luke Kruger, number 9.
Number 9. So that was a great run. 20 metres. I saw he straight to the subs bench after that, though.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was a good swim by him. Lucky for him. Good goal by him. I'm glad.
Cool. Anyway, good luck, and hopefully have a great last match.
Thank you.
See the camera over there with James? Yeah. All right. Yeah, g'day. So I'm with the GB rep. How'd you go in that last match?
It was good, yeah.